cement manufacturing in Ghana hitherto has not been regulated. This has led to the siting of cement in areas where we would rather not have cement factories. And you've carried this previously, so I will not dwell too much on it. So government felt it's about time that there is a regulation specifically, one, to regulate where cement factories could be located, two, to register you before you can even sell cement, three, to regulate the manufacture, production, supply, sale, and distribution of cement. So that LI 2480, known as the Ghana Standards Authority Manufacture Cement Regulations 2023, came into effect. The committee itself was inaugurated on the 8th of March this year. And I would also like to correct a few things. There has been consultation with the cement manufacturers. So this is what has happened. I had questions about whether Honorable K.T. Amon wants to move cement into the same way as petrol. Indeed, the Honorable Alhaji Minister has stated categorically that his experience in the industry, energy ministry, makes him believe that cement and petrol could be viewed in the same way in terms of how Ghanaians use them and how they must be somehow regulated to provide relief to Ghanaians. So at the inauguration of the Cement Manufacturing Development Committee, he made a clear call. One, could the committee, which includes AGI and the cement manufacturers represented by their chamber, can they examine the possibility of a UPPF for cement, that's the Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund, a cement equivalent? And two, what can be done about cement? The committee was inaugurated on the 8th of March. We have met 5 times. And at each meeting, we have brought the issue of cement pricing transparency. What we informed the minister is that, look, the pricing of cement is multifaceted. From our studies, definitely, there is a correlation between cement prices and the exchange rate. But that is not all. Our focus is the ex-factory price of cement fair enough so that other prices, when they add up, will not be inimical to the Ghanaian? So the question is, are we being charged too much for cement as it comes to the factory? At the committee meetings, 5 different meetings, the question to the manufacturers is, can you declare your ex-factory price? Just declare, or your indicative ex-factory price, so that if a consumer is buying, they know how much Gasem, Supersem, name the companies, are selling it at the factory gates. That provides some transparency. Indeed, all players have agreed that we know the cost buildup. Clinker is key, energy is key, exchange rate is key. But can you voluntarily declare the ex-factory prices? Samson, the minister said something which have been lost. He stated that after consistently requesting this and not getting, he has resorted to the point of legislation because industry does not want to be regulated. I believe that the whole purpose of the legislation is to promote openness and transparency in cement prices. The cement manufacturers have indicated that there are some taxes which must be reviewed. We have all agreed. In fact, we have no challenge with that because at the end of the day, it must be a national conversation. We have 3 cement companies in Ghana, or 2, starting from Gasem and so on. Now we have 14 and the number is growing. How can we promote transparency whilst putting focus on, one, the quality, which is a separate matter, as well as the prices? So really, the issue has always been on the indicative ex-factory prices. And they were told to voluntarily self-publish so that the committee can make Ghanaians aware of the average ex-factory price of the various batches of cement. Some say they have not done so as we speak. And that has been an issue of both concern and a bit of frustration, both to the ministry, myself, and all players. So really, it's about transparency in cement pricing, ensuring fair return on investment, and ensuring that the Ghanaian consumer receives a fair deal at the end of the day. And I dare say that these issues will come across for other sectors. So it's good to situate it that way. That the Republic have a role in ensuring that pricing and profiting are within a framework. And our view is that it is the right thing to do because that is what the country needs. And it's done in all countries, including the
So as you are saying now, the cement manufacturing, companies are growing, and like we say, water will find its level. Why does the government not choose to allow competition to determine what this becomes in a free market economy? And the other question has to do with, do you find that the government is amenable to some of the suggestions they make about the taxes for the materials they import, the docking, which I find illegal really, that if I am bringing my goods to the port and you expect me to clear it within 3 days and I'm unable to do so because it is your fault, why should I pay demurrage on that? The question of clinker, we understand that there's an entity that is trying to use a local alternative so that you don't have to import. Why are we not encouraging, where do you look at all of these factors in the mixture?
So let me take the three because I think I'm quite intimate with the discussions. Number one, the minister has been frustrated because economics dictates that as demand expands, prices will fall. But it's not happening. Indeed, what is happening is that Ghana's installed capacity for production of cement is about 18 million metric tons. But our demand is about 9 or 8.5. So basically, the companies are not producing as much, so that prices will remain reasonably high. So demand and supply are not happening because they can produce so much, but they are not. And of course, it's a business practice that one cannot fault them. Businesses have to make a decent profit. So our point is that let's work on the factory gate, and I'll not belabor that point. But in the cement industry, the fact is that the laws of demand and supply do not appear to work. Is it because they meet to decide that I think I do not have the capacity to interrogate that, and I will skip that for another day? Now, the issues of the taxes, we have engaged the industry. They made a point which every Ghanaian would be concerned about. The Standards Authority have done research, and we have noticed that some particular players believe the only way to compete is to reduce the quality of cement. We did close down 3 of them, and I can assure you, in the coming days, a lot more will be closed down. Because there's one thing we will not compromise on: quality. Finished. Now, on the issue of prices, they mentioned the various taxes which can be looked at. And when we went to Parliament, that was on Thursday with the Honorable Katie Amond, Honorable Dominica Yeni, there was no disagreement on the fact that there must be transparency in the pricing of cement. The issue which came up, and we did find various degrees of acceptance between different players, is the mention of the word price control. I would say that the legislators, as we do in legislation, are still jaw-jawing to find out what is the best fit, which will not reduce the image of Ghana as a country that promotes free markets. But what fit would also show all players that as a country, there are regulations for all players. I mean, we remember recently Microsoft being fined for using their dominant market position to drive out competition. We know about the MTN being asked to charge realistic rates, and so on and so forth. So our point is that there must be transparency. The issues of the taxes, indeed, the industry players were right. They said if these taxes were for regulatory purposes, so that all players are playing on an even playing field, we'll love it. And as the Standards Authority, what we want, definitely, is more funds to ensure that every bag of cement you buy is of the quality you expect. Then the market will play. That has to happen. But in tandem with that, we believe that transparency in the cost build-up will also benefit consumers. And we will then have an open and transparent discussion between all of us.
Right. In 30 seconds, what will be your proposal to ensure that this happens in a manner that satisfies all the players?
The manufacturers should accept that government's request for transparency in the pricing of the ex-factory price of cement is key. They must also work with government to see which taxes could be moved into regulatory affairs, because when that happens, let me say the players not playing according to the rule will go out, and the genuine, decent players can produce good quality products, hopefully at affordable or more affordable prices that Ghanaians can buy. That way you realize that we would have moved from where we were to where we all want to go collectively as a nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.